Hi, my name is John Whitehead, and welcome to this week's video blog post. Every week I try and bring something from my own personal experience, maybe something from something I've read, something from my work as an executive coach, and I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say back. I get some great comments and suggestions on things to write about, but I'm always looking to hear more from you. And as you probably noted, as if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll see that I really am not that scripted. I've tried scripting a few times and reading off of a prompter. It just doesn't work for me. I tend to be more impromptu, and I tend to be a little bit more impulsive, which is actually at the basis of my own personal communications behavior style. I'm one of those people that tend to be more emotional when I'm talking with people. I work from a place of emotions, and as a leader, that's something I've really had to work on in my own personal leadership style. Now, you've probably run into people like those, and you kind of go, yeah, they don't seem to be able to track things. They don't need to. They often are very poor at making plans. And I know I tell the funny story of in my workshops on communication styles that one of the things my wife's learned about me personally is that every morning when I leave to go to a meeting or going off to drive to Vancouver to meet with clients, she'll actually go through a list with me. She'll say things like, do you have your wallet? Do you have your mobile? Do you have your computer? Because 9 times out of 10, I've gone down the road, I'm turning around and coming back because I've forgotten something. So one of the things I forced myself to do very early on in my career is to make a list, right? Make a daily list, a weekly list, and check off things as I do them. Otherwise, I'll just skip them over. I'm one of those guys that's talking and suddenly goes squirrel, and then something else grabs my attention. So that's something that I've had to learn. I've had to learn to manage that. And what that actually does, if you're one of those folks that has identified a trait or identified a behavior that is probably a bit of a challenge, I'm going to say in the workplace, but it can be anywhere, and you decide to work on that, that's just like going to the gym. It's going to the gym and working out every week or every day, every other day, to work out, to build up those muscles. That's what you're doing when you're working on shifting a behavior too. You're building that up. And in doing so, what you're actually doing is increasing your emotional intelligence, your social intelligence. You are actually improving that, increasing that. That's what happens when you don't script these things. You say things, words come out that you don't mean. Social intelligence is what I actually meant there. You're building that capacity. You're becoming more emotionally intelligent. Because if you look at emotional intelligence, the first thing is knowing yourself, understanding yourself. Why do I tend to behave in the way I do? And oftentimes we need help in that, even figuring that out, right? We have to be open to getting feedback from other people. One of the ways that'll do that, and a cheap plug for what I do, is coaching. Hiring a coach to help you work out that, to help you figure out who you are, so that you become more self-aware. Once you know that and you become more aware, you can start looking at particular behaviors or patterns of the way you do things, and how do I change that? And a coach, again, will help you work through that. So for me, it's learning to slow down and check my emotional stance. And by doing that, getting a better grip on how others will have a tendency to perceive me, and then trying to meet the needs of those people. So that's one of the things that I try and talk about in some of my leadership blogs, posts that I wrote, and some of these videos that I produce every week. I'm curious about what you think about that. Have you, your own journey on self-awareness, is that something that you're involved in, or is that something, you know, I really do need to work on that a little bit more and figure that out? If that's something that's triggered an idea or thought for you, just reach out to me and let's have a conversation. No obligation whatsoever, just let's have a conversation about it. Uh, I like to say, let's have a virtual coffee. I'll be sitting here with a coffee and you can be sitting where you are, and let's meet for coffee. Anyway, that's me for this week. I hope you have a great week and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.